Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 12 entitled Consulted. So let me ask you a question. How do you know if you have value to someone else? If you're a person of value to somebody else? The answer for most people, if they think about it long enough, is we know we have value and we're valued by another person when they voluntarily include us in the details of his or her life. Here's what I mean. Let's say one of my friends, Sean, proposed to his girlfriend. They'd been together for a while. They were really close, and he proposed. Getting engaged and deciding to get married is obviously a really big and important decision, and one he didn't make on his own. Well, there are generally three categories of types of people involved in the engagement of somebody like Sean. And I'll go through each category. But first, it's important to note that just for the sake of this, let's say I think I'm one of the most valuable people in Sean's life, that he really values my friendship and values who I am. All right, now let's go over the three categories. Category one, this is what I call the Aunt Susie category. It's the people that Sean invites to the engagement party. He tells them about the engagement after the proposal. He wants to celebrate the milestone with these people. He loves these people, but he's not necessarily going to include them in the decision as to whether or not he's going to propose. So that's category one. Category two are the people he informs that he's going to propose. He doesn't really ask their opinion. He doesn't ask their advice. He doesn't say, hey, is this a good idea? He tells them. He calls them on a phone. He says, hey, or sends them a text and just says, hey, I got the ring. I'm going to propose on this day. Can you pray for me? If that person really felt strong enough, they're close enough to Sean to be able to be like, hey, I'd love to talk to you about this and to share their concerns. But them sharing their concerns, it's not necessarily going to mean that he's not going to propose. What it means is he's very likely to be unsettled and to go to the category three people. And the category three people are the people he makes the decision with. It's those people he shares the questions and the yearnings of his heart with throughout the entire journey. They're the individuals who are around for all the doubts, the fights, the joys, the celebrations, everything. And if they don't think it's a good idea, then Sean is really unlikely to propose. These are the people who aren't surprised when it's time to go purchase the ring because they've been there every step of the way. And these are the people that he will consult if category two tells him it's not a good idea. All right. Now, I think it's pretty obvious that the people who are most valuable to Sean, the people whose opinion he values the most, at least, would be the people in category three, the people who went through the whole journey, the ups, the downs, everything. Now imagine I think I'm a category three person, but I'm treated like a category one. I'm only invited to the engagement party. How do you think I'd feel? I'd feel not that important. I'd feel not that valuable. I would feel like maybe Sean lied to me about the nature of our friendship and how important I was to him and how valuable I was to him. I would probably be pretty angry. I'd be like, why am I finding out at the same time as Aunt Susie, who only sees you once a year at Christmas? Aren't I more important than Aunt Susie? And this is the problem. This is the problem with the desire to be consulted, especially when the desire to be consulted is not tempered by an understanding that you get your value from God. You are loved, you're of infinite value, and you're of infinite importance as it relates to God and in relationship with Him. If you're in relationship with God and you know that God loves you and values you and there's nothing you can do to take away from that love or that value, then it might hurt that Sean didn't include me in a different way, in a deeper way. But it wouldn't be it wouldn't be so unnerving to the point that I would be tempted to make his engagement about me, to make that big moment in his life about me and my feelings, to either passive aggressively not attend or be short with him or do any number of the passive aggressive things, or to just outright be aggressive and be like, hey, why didn't you consult me about this decision? Aren't I important in your life? When we talk about wanting to be free from the desire to be consulted, it really, we realize that we have that challenge or that problem if we make someone's important event in their life about us. If we don't have a secure base in God of a belief and faith and understanding that we are of value to him. Because when we go and we make this big moment in Sean's life about us, it's actually because we don't have a secure base in God. We're operating from a place of insecurity, that if Sean forgets about us, if we're not valuable in Sean's eyes, then maybe we're not valuable at all. But when we're operating from a secure place and a secure place of security with God, even if all the world forgot about us, even if nobody ever consulted us ever, it would hurt a little bit, but we would be okay. We wouldn't make somebody else's moment about us. We wouldn't selfishly grasp at love and attention from this person, especially when that moment is about them. We won't act out of insecurity and selfishness. We'll act out of love and peace. And this is why we want to be free from the desire to be consulted. And this is especially difficult for parents of adult children who really want to be category 3, but who are often category 2. If you're not rooted in the love and value of God, if that's not the secure place that you're operating out of, you'll have a tendency to make some of the most important moments in your child's life about you and your emotions, and not about them and what they need and the love that they deserve. So, from the desire to be consulted, Jesus, deliver me.